suppose the clouds in the sky would feel guilty because they are not moving as hard as the others around them, or they are too thick and gray compared with the other light white ones that flow through the sky. They cannot help it. They have been appeared in the sky. They just arose from the sky itself. The sky is not an empty field. It is full of humid and energy and moving particles, and out of the temperatures and pressure and all that is in the sky, energies, and out of that being thing pops up a contraction which is glued together, and it is visible as a cloud. The cloud is just the visible sky in a certain form and color, and it moves, but it cannot move itself. It's blown by the wind and the sun temperature and whatever makes the cloud. It is the sky itself visible as that cloud. Sorry. Same way as the water of the ocean. It's not different from the ocean itself. It doesn't come up and feel ashamed because other waves are bigger and faster or higher. It's just what is, and people pop up out of the beingness of existence in the creation. They are composed by molecules and atoms and the energies and the worms and the whatever makes a human being forms. That is what you are. You are formed by that, by circumstances, and the parents gave the things to make you. You appeared out of that, but it's not your fault. It's not your body's fault. Never ever that it exists. It's the material that appeared from the energy, so that the body itself is energy. It's not yours, and you are not caught in it. It is an instrument for your mind, for your spirit. And the body cannot help it, what it looks like. I have read somewhere or heard, or maybe that Baba told something like that. When you have your last body, it will be in a good shape and not misformed. So the soul in it is cleansed and it's ready to travel further, and it needs a time on earth to finish the things to be done, the old karma or whatever is left. The soul has to be totally clean before it can merge in the light of God. And when this last body, at the body, you can see that it is ready to disappear in the light, because if you have a last life, you will never, well, never is a great word, but it will never be a misformed body. When people are misformed or something happens and is the matter, that means that they are cleaning the karma of former lives and bodies and acts. So maybe you made someone suffer, and then you were born with that mistake on your body. A limb, a leg that is not good, or whatever can happen to human bodies. But when you are really cleansed or pure and ready to go in the light with your soul, then the body is likewise good shaped. It has a nice form, and there are no mistakes on the body. So that means the karma is clean, and that's what I heard or read, or Baba told maybe in when he spoke something about that. But I remember it. I think that's very, it's very logical. When someone is very far developed in the freedom, there are no mistakes in the consciousness. It is pure. Then the body has to be pure also. I think it feels good. It feels right. I don't know exactly what was said, but that's what it's about. When people are ready to leave, their last body is a nice, beautiful one. I don't know. I cannot judge about it. But I think, of course, there are people with very beautiful bodies and the mind and the soul is not ready. That's also happening. But anyway, when one is ready, also there can be people totally ready to go in enlightenment with a wrong, mistaken body. But normally spoken, I think that's true. I remember Ramana Maharshi had this leg, what was not straight, but it was due to his own actions that he was so ready to merge in the light and in the formlessness that he did not eat and he did not take care of his body, and that's why his body was already going under, and his mother was very anxious to help him and to make him eat, but his body was damaged then. So you cannot compare every case, but normally spoken, you can think about being ready. You are interested in this Advaita being, knowing there's something in your soul that wants to leave the earth, then mostly of the time the body will be ready also. Then it's not your doing, but it is as it seems right to me. Or how it does and acts. It's just like the cloud. It's there for a while, it drifts by, and it evaporates, and the wave comes up and descends again, and your body rises up, comes in existence, and disappears again. It is all coming and going here. And for us people, the only thing that has the capacity to become free of all that coming up, because we have consciousness, we can be opened to the wisdom inside of us. In the wave is no wisdom, and in the cloud is no wisdom. It appears in wisdom, but we appear in wisdom, but in us is wisdom. So we have to reach that. And it's done by looking around and seeing all the things and learning and see what that it's not true, it's just coming and going, and then you understand you too will disappear and you can reach the freedom from inside. That's what happens in your life. God, the creator, expands himself in all forms, and you can reach that by the feelings inside. You want to be free. That's not your wish, but it is the God inside wanting to come out and to reach itself, its freedom. But all the time you are the free appearance in this God being. And the consciousness in you can grow by surrendering to that force, that power, or to understanding it. The wisdom is inside, but it's God's doing. It's freedom itself that appears to become free, become aware of its freedom. The cloud is free and the wave is free, and you are free. What can there be said? I mean, there's nothing to blame. If you do good, you will be good. If you are good, you are God. If you are God, you are free. And all what happens in this freedom. You start to understand more and more of life, and then it's okay. It's okay right now. It's what it is. Don't feel guilty. That's the mind that wants you to obey and follow the direction of the mind. That will always send you to the darker side of life. Don't listen. You are the light of God in this form. It's God's expression as you are right now. That's your freedom, to let God take you in His realm, in His love, in His guidance. He will keep you safe and take you home. Don't worry, be happy. That's what God says. Don't worry, be happy. Nothing more. We cannot believe that there is nothing to do to be the self. There is nothing to do to be the self. What should you do to be the self? If you make plans to go to another city, then you have something to do. You can go there. And you can take a bus or whatever, and then you go there. But to go to the self, there's nothing to do. And the mind cannot stand it. Mind wants to take the control, the place of the boss, and telling you how to act. And then it will reward you with happiness and bliss. That's what mind says. And all the thousands of people take a course in Advaita science and non-dualistic books, and sitting in a yoga attitude with the pain in the knees for hours, and with the eyes gazing to the one point or to the nose, and then they sit like that and they think they go to themselves. How can you go to yourself? If you take a mirror, what else can you see in that mirror than yourself? Do you have to make plans to see yourself? You only have to see the mirror. Then you see yourself. You cannot reach it because you are it. Don't let the mind make you crazy. It's that it has done enough. It promised you the good and the best whenever you did like this, or maybe a little bit more, invest a bit more, and then you will certainly succeed. That's what mind says. But you are yourself. You cannot change what you are. Whatever you try to change, then you will leave it. You are this. You are. And when you are in a deep sleep, you are not visible as this, but you still are. You can never leave yourself. When you wake up in the morning, you are the self. When you go to bed, you are the self. In the meantime, you have a nice day, or you have a rainy day, or you are feeling not so good, or you are... all is that, the self. The self is living like this, what you are. And after this daily life and falling back to sleep and start over again, after this life in the form, the self remains everlasting, the self. It has no form anymore, but still it's the same self as it is now. Only now there's a body form around it. It's visible. Your self is visible. And when you are gone, it's not visible anymore, but you are still the same self. There is only the self. In whatever expression it is, the self. You cannot reach what you are. How can you go to yourself? Tell me. What in heaven's sake could you do to reach yourself? You cannot reach yourself. You cannot go somewhere where you are. Oh, I'm going to meet myself. I am there, so I go there. So silly. If you want to sleep, are you going to do a sort of exercise to go to sleep? Are you doing something? Are you going somewhere? Yeah, I often, of course, do the bedroom. But suppose you are already in the bedroom and you want to sleep. Do you have to do something? It will keep you from peace of sleep when you have to do something. It will keep the sleep away. That's simple. Likewise, if you have to do something to be yourself, it will keep you away. And isn't that what we all are doing? We keep on going, following this, doing that. Maybe if I go there, or they have no new system to find the self. Oh, are you going? Yes, I'm going too. Are you? Yes, let's go together. We can find ourselves there. Is it? Yeah, it's 1 month and it costs about $800. Oh, that's worth it because I need to find myself. Yeah, that's true. This is all mind stuff. Mind makes you crazy. Mind makes you poor. Mind makes you see silly. Be silly. Mind makes you unhappy. But it has played enough. Finally, we understand what the mind is doing, so we stop. I am myself. Everlasting am I myself. There's no other than myself. Whether I have this form, or whether I go to sleep, or whether I don't go to sleep, whatever I do, I cannot leave myself. You cannot do something to gain yourself. You only do something and lose yourself, the idea of what you are, the safe feelings and the good feelings of being home. Don't do and be. Awareness of yourself is the only thing that is what you are. Wherever the body goes, the self is in it, and the self goes with it. But don't lose your attention in the circumstances and forget that you are the self, that you are already what you are looking for. That's simple, and it is so simple. Be happy, you are home. Being yourself means there's nothing else than the self that you are. There is no other thing than this self. This is free. You are free from whatever can keep you away from yourself. You are the self. There's nothing else. Whatever you do it as yourself. You cannot act as your neighbor. Well, you see a bunch of monkeys and they act the same, the one leader and the others follow, then you are not the self, you're following the leader. But as you are, there is no leader in you. There is no follower in you. There is no somebody different in you than you. You are the self, you are you, and that is free from all that can keep you away from yourself. If you are free, and if you try to do a lot of things to become free, you are doing that in freedom. There is nothing to do, and the mind cannot believe it. The mind will not give you that state of freedom. The mind refuses. It will not say, okay, yes, you are the self, I will withdraw. The mind wants to be the ruler. So let it. You see it, and it doesn't work for you because you are the self. You cannot reach what you are. Bye-bye, mind. You have disturbed me so long, and now go. Die, mind. And there's the diamond. It was all the time there. But the self is always the self, you. You are you. You cannot do anything to reach you, because then you will leave yourself behind, and then you go in the world of illusion. And that's now left far behind. We are wherever we are, wherever you are, wherever I am self. You are self. There exists only one self. That is the only thing that exists, the self. And what has taken place is that there arose a little self, an ego, a mind. And the mind is what we think we are. We hold the mind for ourselves. I think so, sis. I think that. Maybe it's like this. This is my opinion. I think it's better. That's our little self, ego. And that is what has taken over. And that is what says now to you, do this. If you have done this, then you will reach the self. Then you will be happy. That is the mind saying this. This is our personal idea of self. It is ego. But ego is not real. It must be busy day and night to keep itself existing, because when it doesn't do anything, it doesn't exist. So its ego has to do a lot of things to stay separated little self. But the real self that you are, that has nothing to do. You cannot go to reach yourself. You are it. There's only this separated ego in the mind that sends us the wrong way. And that's what we don't. That's the only thing that you could do. Don't listen anymore to that stupid thing. That fake self, the ego, the person. That doesn't exist. And it keeps you always away from your free self. But how can it keep you away when you are all the time that self? Don't believe the ego anymore, the liar, and be right now, right here, without anything to do, nothing to do, to be yourself. Don't listen to the fake self. that is done, ready, no more. See what you are, and it's not, you cannot reach it, you cannot lose it. Nothing can happen to the self. It is the eternal self. That's what you are. It is free from whatever needs to be done to reach it. And the little ego self says, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to follow a course, you have to read that book, you have to go to India, you have to meet a guru, you have to meet a master. That's all doing from the ego self. Keeps you busy. And from inner self there is this glow. When you don't listen anymore to that ego self, you know what you are. And it can be that that's by repeating. We need repeating that, and in that way we keep the ego out the door. By repeating, I am. And a guru that has reached that state, he cannot have reached it because we all are it, but he has realized that state that he is. He can help to be your stable, to make you stable in yourself, but he cannot help you to be yourself because you are it. Oh, a long story again, but it's a funny game. There is only the self, and there is nothing to do to be yourself. There's only to do to not believe that you are that little ego self that kept you away all the time. Don't listen to fake stories, because you cannot reach yourself what you are. You cannot become what you are. That's the happiness.